always start these out by coughing, and I actually hate listening to myself doing that back, but nevertheless. Moonwalking with Einstein by Joshua Foer. It is a book about memory with a whole bunch of little historical lessons and science lessons on memory, with a strong narrative through line that takes it to the end of the book. Of course I love it. This is actually less like any of the self-help books I've read for summer reading program, and more like a book that I recommended in a past year, Hiding the Elephant, a book about the golden age of stage magicians. Though Hiding the Elephant had a much thinner narrative through line. It was the story of the author trying to recreate the method used to do a specific disappearing animal trick. And this one is mostly narrative through line. It is about the author seeing if, in 1 year, using the techniques recommended to him by a bunch of competitive memory guys, he could actually compete in their competitive memory event. And in fact, he did rather well. It also helps that he's very skeptical about his subject. He questions assumptions, he interviews different people, he asks if the things that he's learning are actually practical, and quite frankly they are not for everyday usage. But they are also, exactly as advertised, something that everyone can learn to do if they put their mind to it. So yeah, this is actually fun to read, actually pretty good. If I was reading it on my own, I would probably read it a lot slower. Yeah, I always kind of have to force myself to read at a high pace for summer reading program. I really want to put this down and go do the other things, but I'm on a timetable. So yes, Moonwalking with Einstein. Shortest review ever. The next wave of summer reading program books have not been picked up yet, but I still need to find something to recommend to you. And I don't think I can count Hiding the Elephant as a second recommendation for the same book, though I do recommend it, and I actually like it more than I like Moonwalking with Einstein. I don't think I had this one at the time of the last summer reading program. Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. A funny book about horrible things. Furiously Happy is a series of essays written by Jenny Lawson about her mental illness and coping with it, and they are hilarious. Jenny Lawson is also known as the Bloggess, who does a blog at bloggess.com. It showcases her delightful sense of humor, her interest in strange animal taxidermy, and various stories of her life, and she is a delight, and her books are a delight, and I highly recommend them. Her previous book, which I do not have on hand, but which I do own, is titled Let's Pretend This Never Happened, and it is more of a straight autobiography, though it is still hilarious and in essay format. And she is currently coming out with an adult coloring book, which have been in vogue recently, featuring her own rather beautiful inked designs, which are designs she does when she is feeling anxious and has shared previously on her blog, and it looks beautiful. It looks like it's going to be wonderful. I may be picking that up as well, even though I haven't really gotten into adult coloring books because I'm worried it will take my brain away from working on actual drawings, which is a thing I do. Like, part of my brain's like, you should be coloring your own drawings, despite the fact that if you're at the point where you can color your own drawings, you've like already sunk 6 hours into a thing. In any case, Furiously Happy will make you laugh, it might make you cry. If you've ever struggled with mental illness, you will see a fellow sufferer and struggler and friend in this book, and if you have never struggled with mental illness, this may give you insight into the struggles of your families and friends, and humanize something which is, for so many people, very inaccessible, and very badly distorted by media interpretations of mental illness, which are usually based somewhere in a truth of an exploded theory of what this psychological ailment they're describing kind of is, but are not usually very helpful in the realm of understanding and empathizing and accessing the incredible varieties of ways that humans experience the world and deal with those experiences. I actually haven't finished my page count calculations with Moonwalking with Einstein in it, but I think I'm only about halfway through, at most, of my summer reading program goals, which is kind of frustrating. Tomorrow I am going to go in for some dentistry, and, well, we'll see how that affects my mood. I might fail this year, you never know. We'll see how I feel about reading painful things while I'm also dealing with a temporary crown, which I seem to recall was very uncomfortable. But, never say die. We're not throwing in the towel yet. See you next time. The author actually, tells you how to pronounce his name within the text of the book.